Hey Alexa, play Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
I have music or video for that. You can say play music or watch video.
Play music.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Racers News Network Live. We are back for this week. Pete is out there in the internet neverland trying to get reconnected, but he should be joining us ever so shortly. But we have as our guest tonight an old buddy of mine, known for 6-8 years, something like that. Of course, I'm talking about Steve Musser of the Time Bomb Nostalgia Funny Car team, based out of Pennsylvania. And they are, in my opinion, from what I've seen of their performances, one of the top nostalgia teams going, especially here on the East Coast. Steve's heavily involved in the nostalgia funny car scene and the nostalgia scene in general, and also had his hands in some top alcohol dragster stuff. So we've interviewed Steve a few times before, and looking forward to talking to him again here in just a few minutes. Before we kick off the show, though, I would like to say a very sorry to the family of Roger Richardson, who passed away, I believe today or yesterday. He was the photography director for Competition Plus for a number of years. So want to say a big sorry for the loss of Roger. He was definitely one of the tops in drag racing photography in the entire country. Unfortunately, a lot of people I'm getting older. I hit the double nickel yesterday, so it's that time of life where things start to change and it sucks. I didn't know him personally, but I've seen him at the track, seen his work, and it's going to be a huge loss for the drag racing community. But switching gears to my buddy, of course, I'm talking about Steve Musser. Like I said, Steve is the current owner of the Time Bomb Funny Car team and the marketing director and the transportation coordinator, and pretty much in charge of damn near everything except driving. We got to keep Bobby in line. So how are you, Steve?
I'm good, sir. I'm good. How are you?
Awesome. I am doing fantastic. Like I said, I've known you for a while, and you've
About
kind
8
of had
years.
you've had your hands in a lot of different things in the world of drag racing, and it definitely seems like you enjoy the nostalgia stuff a lot, or you wouldn't have taken over the ownership of Time Bomb, and we'll talk about the other car a little bit later on. So kind of fill us in on you and this drag racing scene and how you got into it.
Well, I would say 2010, I actually started. I was straight into top alcohol racing with Lou Scrow, and that lasted for about a year. And then I went to Rocky Perone, and I met Tom Fox there. And from there, I went to the Time Bomb and Tom Fox's dragster team. I was kind of a specialist back then. I was the guy that if you needed money, I could find it. I was pretty good at marketing things and finding a way to present things and being that guy that actually got checks and put them in people's hands, which is one thing I'm proud of.
Very cool.
Yeah. So and then I went from I've been with the Time Bomb since 2000, end of 2012, and I was with Fox for 10 years till 2011 till maybe 12 there till 22 is when I kind of moved my focus to my funny car team. I'm let me phrase that. Moved my focus to our funny car team, which is a group deal for us.
Cool. Now, obviously, we're talking about the Time Bomb car. Now, Rocky started that team a long time ago, and obviously, unfortunately, we lost Rocky a few years ago. What was it like being involved with? I've had the opportunity to meet him through you a number of times, and the dude had a personality bigger than life itself, I think,
Yeah.
is a fair assessment.
Yeah. So, Rocky and I, at the beginning, it was just a strange and different relationship. Whereas, Bobby Toth is the one that kind of moved me into the time bomb deal. And, I told Roxala, I said, just sit back, shut up, and hang on, and I'll show you how we can make this thing haul ass. And that's the truth. And Roxala did not like that. He did not want a partner. He did not need a partner. He didn't really want to go that route. Rocky and I went from being partners to being best buddies to he became like a second father to me. That's kind of the stepping process with Rocky, and I miss him dearly. It really hurt me bad. Anybody that knows me knows I did not do well with him passing away. I still don't do well with it, but doing a little better now. And yeah, he was larger than life. He was a big deal to me. I learned how to do a lot of stuff with the funny cars through him, through his what we called his charm school, which was he'd smack you in the face with a torque wrench, and that's kind of how you learn. But it was all in love, and he wanted things done a certain way, and he was a good teacher, no doubt.
Very cool. One of the moments that I remember about him was it wasn't too long after you first introduced me to him when we all met up at PRI. We were over at the
Yeah.
football stadium. And you're like, hey, this is these guys and so on and whatever, and shaking hands, and walked up and like, hey, Rocky, what's up? He's like, hey, Chris, how you doing? Go give me a beer.
Ha! Yeah,
Okay.
that's Rock. He was a tough SOB, man. A lot of people only knew he was a tough man.
Yeah, very, very cool dude though. Now, making the transition from the Tom's alcohol dragster to running the nostalgia car, uh, was it as difficult as some people might think it is, or was it pretty straightforward?
No, it was easy. I mean, honestly, just simply because I was always running the time bomb with Rocky, the whole time. I just wasn't focusing as much on it. But the time bomb was always being, I had my hands in it the entire time I was with Fox. I was just burning the candle at both ends, literally burning at both ends.
Right.
So, I put a lot of resources into Fox's deal, personal and sponsors. And then I put a lot of stuff into the time bomb. Most of what went into the time bomb was personal with me, and then a few sponsors that I had at the time, which Matt Vitko was one that came on board, one of my buddies from high school, and he helped us tremendously get to that next level where we started getting a lot of better parts and pieces, and we could run the car harder, and it went faster, and then we lean on it and it went faster.
Now, actually, now that Pete's on, I want to just take a quick second. So
Sure.
please bear with me, Steve.
Yes, sir.
Steve, this is my partner in R&N, Pete Sanka. Pete races Division One up here. He races mostly Super Street, and then on occasion Super Gas if they don't have Super Street in an event that he's going to.
Very cool.
He races a Vega.
Oh, nice.
Yes, sir.
72 or 74?
77, believe it or not. It's a 77
Okay.
wagon.
Interesting choice, but that's cool. Hey, any Vega, it's not a drag race till an F in Vega shows up, right,
That's
Pete?
right. Absolutely. First of all, I'd like to apologize for being unfashionably late.
That's okay.
We had some technical difficulties. I was actually on before you, but it didn't last very long. So we're back. But it's awesome to have another Vega brother on the show.
Yep.
Tell us, I don't know how much you guys have covered so far, but give us some specifics about the car. Wheelbase, who built it, all that good stuff.
The Time Bomb's a 118-inch wheelbase car. Rocky Roxalau basically built it, all but, and it's a 72 Vega. It's blown. It's got a 526 Hemi in it with a 1471 Littlefield supercharger, which is legit. Littlefield. We don't have one of those big blowers like some of these other guys do.
Right.
And we run an MS, the Mag 22. We have Aries pistons in it. We have GRP rods. I got a Crowler crank in it. I have a brand new Bullet cam going in it actually tomorrow. Bob and the guys are coming out to do some work on it, get
Yeah.
her freshened up. But and then we run, we run Hoosiers, run M&H tires when we can get them. We run it on, straight. We run it on M1.
Nice.
That's about it. I mean, unless you get down to the nuts and bolts, like what plugs we use and
Yeah,
stuff. But
no, that's good.
that's pretty good,
What-
I think.
Well, how many cubic inches is the engine?
526.
Is that a limit for your class?
No, you can run whatever the hell you want. I mean,
Okay.
guys run Chevys, guys run Hemis, they bigger Hemis. Typically the 526s is what people have in them, but there's smaller versions out there.
Yeah. What's your best performance to date?
Our best run was 644 at 200, I think 219 or 221,
Wow.
something like that. That was at Cecil County.
Oh, nice.
That was our last race ever with Rocky on the track, physically there with us. And I know Rock was struggling in the heat and just to be there. And
Right.
he told Bobby, "You stand on that mother effer," and Bobby did. And we wanted to see what it would do, and which was cool. And it came back clean too. We didn't bang it.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Yep. And we've been in the 650s more. I can't even, so many times I can't remember.
Yep.
We run so many 650s, 660s, stuff like that. Right now, we're kind of in the mode of, because we're trying to get some better parts in it, just waiting for things that they've been purchased, waiting to get them
Sure.
in our hands. But, for the most part, we got a new crank in there, new cam in there, new rods in there, new pistons in there. All the important stuff, I personally think, the wearable stuff and rotating assembly, things like that, is all good. I got new Victory valves in there. I mean, we got some good shit in there.
Good. Very cool. What are your racing plans for the rest of the year?
Right now we're going to Dragway 42, which I've never been to, which I am just excited as all get out to go to. And we're going to race for Don Moyer, just rock and race. It just looks cool as the day is long. I actually called him up and said, "I want to come to your race." Just for,
very cool.
not for nothing, but just for the music alone. I mean, the lineup of music is stellar. And, I was pretty grateful that he would add us, after the fact the show was done, put us in, but our reputation got us in that one for sure.
Nice.
And then after that, we're going to go to, Budds Creek, Maryland, and we're going to run the, Chaos race. But in between there, we're going to make some hits here and there. I don't know where, more than likely it'll be at Maple Grove, as I plan on getting a new driver licensed in the funny car.
Oh, cool.
So I believe he's already licensed, but more importantly, I want to make sure he's comfortable in our car.
Sure. Right. Sorry, Chris, how many different drivers have you had over the years?
Bob, hey! It's Bob's world and we just live in it, sir.
Excellent.
So, and Bob's going to continue to drive the car till he don't want to. I told Bob that many times. He can do whatever the hell he wants. He can drive it till he doesn't want to. I just like the chance to maybe put my buddy Brian Conray in there. And, he's in the top sportsman class. He's number 3 in points right now. He's very competitive, very, very
Yeah,
good. race
Brian's
driver.
actually a former guest on the show.
Yeah, Brian Conray. So he's
Yeah.
a very, very close friend of mine. We've been talking about it for years. And I don't think it's bad to have, a backup driver if
Sure.
something would happen, because we really don't have that right now. We used to have that with, we had Brian Golick with a phone call away, but that's not the case anymore. So I'd like to get a guy that can be there if and when we need him. And then also I'd like to be able to maybe compete at some of these, the chaos race,
Yeah.
put a hitter in there,
I like it.
a difference maker driver, if
Sure.
you will.
Now, hitting on the funny car chaos stuff a little bit, Steve. Do you think that's the wave of the future for
Oh,
what's going to
without a doubt. I think every single, my personal opinion, I think every single match race should be run in that format. I think you should be allowed to bring what you built, run what you brung, do a hard charge and badass burnout, do a couple dry hops for a cherry on top and put the hammer down and see what it does. But that's just me. You know, a lot of guys don't disagree. They don't agree with me. They disagree with me when it comes to that stuff. But that's fine. That's why there's all different kinds of racing.
That's right.
I love it.
Now
I
with
love it. I think
chaos
it's
too, you
great.
have all kinds of different power adders too for the funny cars, correct? It's not just injected or blown, it's pro-charged, turbocharged, friggin' damn near everything.
Yeah. No, without a doubt. I mean, some of these pro charge cars, and there's some out there that are a few injective ones. They're sick as far as the way that they're engineered and just how cool that they are. You know, and I think that's what makes it special is it's a variety of different race cars is really cool for the fans. And number two is I think everybody gets a chance to race because I think everybody should have a chance to go out and participate and run a car that they broke their ass, their bank, blood, sweat, and tears they put into it. Everybody should have to have a chance to race couple, 3 times a year if they want to. And,
Right.
you know, unfortunately, sometimes it's not the case for some people, you know, and it's a shame.
Very cool. Now, expanding on that just a little bit more. Now, originally there was another car in the Musser mix. I don't know if you want to talk about the Cherry Bomb a little bit.
Yeah. So the Cherry Bomb is close to being done. The Cherry Bomb, it's sitting, the body is complete and finished. A wonderful man named Jeff Davis got it painted for us. Jeff and his son-in-law, Jeff, did it for us. It's beautiful. Glenn lettered it. It's done. It's tin. It's treed. It's powder coated. It's a complete finish, ready to put on a race car body. At
Nice.
this point in time, we're waiting for the chassis, which is a new chassis, to be updated and finished by Danny Sweetman. And I have all the confidence in the world with Dan that he's going to give us just a bitchin' piece of machinery, you know, and I think it'll be great. So once we get that chassis back, which we expect to get back in the next 2 or 3 weeks, my plan was, because we're so far into the season, to maybe try and do something with it next year. But you know, Danny laughed and said, "Now Bobby's going to have that thing out in the track by the end of the summer." You know? So, you know, and again, it's Bob's world. I just live in it. You know, I mean, we do have actually 2 separate funny cars. I don't have one I'm going to rebody. I have 2 separate funny cars. We have most of what we need to do it. I have confidence that my partner Randy Moore and myself, who Randy's come on board, and he's been an enormous help. Enormous help. He basically rescued us from the abyss where I didn't know what we were going to do. And, you know, now we're getting better parts, better pieces. And I think the Cherry Bomb will move along a little bit quicker. You know, I'm hoping it would be really cool to have it out at the end of the year, but you know, I'm being realistic because I've been doing this a long time and I know what's what. You probably won't see it till next year. But the good news is we have a funny car that runs, you know, 650, 660s at 210, 215, no problem. So
Right.
it's not like we're waiting for it to get out to see what we have a car that does something, and you know, it's not a bad little hot rod.
Are we going to see you at the Dover race?
You will not. You will not.
Okay. All right. All right.
Well,
Fair
Let
enough.
me ask you a question. What in a perfect world, if you had to draw it up on a piece of paper, going from the car that you've raced for years to a brand new piece that you're going to be debuting? I mean, obviously you're going to have some new car workouts, and I don't
Oh,
want
yeah.
to call them blues, but you know how it goes.
Yeah, sure.
When it's all said and done and the dust is settled, what kind of a performance increase could you expect? Are you hoping for from tried and true to brand new?
You know, my expectations would be, and again, that's going to land on Reverend Johnny, Bobby, Randy, Keith Decker, one of our value crew guys, Luke Ellis. I have a certain area that I want to be in. I'm trying to choose my words carefully. You know, I want to be down. I want to get down and run somewhere in the neighborhood of Rocky Perone and keep him honest. You know, and try and be at least close to him. I don't think we can run 16s, but I don't think we shouldn't be able, with this power plant that we have now, we should be able to run 630s with a 125 car and, you know, better aero, a lot of other things that are advantage. So I mean, if we lean on it, it's a 50 car with a snub nose Vega, you know, it's like a snowplow. So
Yeah, right.
I'm thinking, 630s, 620s, somewhere in that neighborhood
Nice.
stretch.
And
I
what,
just want to run with the guy. I have a lot of respect for Rocky Perone. He's a badass. And I got a lot of respect for George Hollywood Ridenauer, who is also a badass. And these guys
Yeah.
want to haul ass. And I would like, if I'm on their rear bumper, I'm happy with that. I don't have to go quicker than them. I just want to be in the same ballpark as them.
are you allowed to say what the new body style is before you
Oh,
debut the
sure.
car?
Yeah. It's already been out. It's a
Okay.
74. It's a 74 slant nose Vega.
Oh, okay. So you're sticking with Vega.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what Rocky wanted. So, before he passed away, we had his chassis hanging up in the rafters I had bought years before, and, he passed away. And so we had some ideas, and believe it or not, the Time Bomb he came up with that name, and we used to argue about what the new name was going to be for the new funny car. And down at his shop, I'll be damned if he didn't have Cherry Bomb, the hand shit, the
hand stuff. Yeah, yeah. Yep.
Thomas stuff.
Yep.
I go in there to, go to the bathroom and clean your hands and Cherry Bomb. And after doing that for a couple of years, I'm like, yo, jackass, let's call it Cherry Bomb. He's like, no, I don't like that, man. Let's do something else. And then I wore on him. And, unfortunately we ran out of time with him, but,
Right.
he warmed up to the idea. And, so, it's going to be Cherry Bomb and a lot of,
Yep.
a lot of it is just stuff that's maybe just a hair out of my reach. Before, things weren't used to not be out of my reach, but now where I'm at in life now, it's a lot to take on.
Sure.
But we're going to do it because I feel a strong sense of that. I want to try and get to the finish line with that and at least get it out there. And I'd like to see these two cars lined up against each other.
Very
I
cool.
want to get the picture, hang it in my basement, maybe say something to old Rock up there and just show
Right.
them that, hey, we did it. And then after that, it's all gravy. If we keep running, we keep running. If we don't run, we don't run. I'm not going to,
Sure.
We've done a lot over 14 years now, 15 years. My family has in racing, my wife and my kids and stuff. So, yeah.
Very cool.
Very cool.
How long has it been since he passed?
He died in November of 2019.
Gotcha.
He's right.
Oh, very cool. I like it.
Yeah. They're out on my back deck window all the time.
Very nice.
Yeah, Rocky was a cool dude. I got the chance to meet him, as Steve and I talked about a little while ago, numerous times because of Steve, and he was a cool dude. There's no doubt about it. So
I could see what you're like when you talk about him, and that's not a casual acquaintance by any means. So you still got a purpose with what you're doing. It's cool to see that he's still involved quite a bit, even though he's not here,
No, that's cool. I like the way that you said that, without a doubt. He's still involved. He's always on my mind. When I get to the racetrack, I think of him often, and I'm grateful for that.
That's awesome. That's not a friendship or a partnership that comes along very often. So
no, it's not. Yeah, it's more like I was his evil bad son, and he had a torque wrench, and I did what he said.
you were the devil on the other shoulder, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, more than you would know.
Steve took out both shoulders, I think.
Yes, sir.
Very cool. So now's the time when you plug some of the people that help you out.
Yeah, I would love to. I'd like to, especially to John Hale, who owns the Best of Texas Barbecue Sauce Company down in Dallas, Texas. He's been helping us for years, quietly. He doesn't take a whole lot of credit for it. He's a quiet guy, but he's helped me tremendously with phone calls, texts, financially, just being there for us. He's just a bitch and all around guy, and I'm very grateful and honored for him to be part of our racing deal. Steve Wasucker he's the owner of Custom Performance Coating, and they're down in Beltsville, Maryland.
Right.
And if anybody needs any powder coating done, any heat treated stuff, industrial, commercial, racing, you name it, get in touch with me. I'll get you in touch with Steve. He'll travel to you to pick stuff up and bring it back to you finished. He's a stud. He worked with Chuck Buckler for a while. So everybody knows who Chuck is. He paints Jib Head's Nitro Funny Car, and
Yep.
he's a genius artist. And then, some of the other ones is, Elmer. Everybody knows Elmer at Aries Pistons. Freddie Turs at VP Racing Fuels. He's helped us for years with fuel. He's a great guy. Got that deal for pitting. We were pitting next to Dave Harada down to Charlotte at the Carolina Nationals, and we qualified for our first race. And me and Tommy Jr. were raising some serious hell, and they came over and said, "Who the hell are you guys?" That's how we met them. And then the rest is history. And then that was in 2014, and VP's been helping me ever since. And then Pengrade won, Pengrade High Performance Oil.
Well, yeah.
That's Bobby Brophy, and Ken Tiger's no longer with him, but he was a big part of our deal, helping us, to get oil, and we tried to help them in return by getting them customers and things like that. The Vision Corps Foundation, my youngest son, a lot of people know he's blind, so we try and do a lot for the charity end of things with the Vision Corps Foundation. And then I wanted to meet Peter Shore at the retreat. He just recently passed away, God rest his soul, but he helped us get off the ground. And when I say he helped us get off the ground, that's back when first started marrying together the Top Alcohol Dragster and the Time Bomb Funny Car as a team type deal. And this guy, these weren't $500,000 checks. These are people who lose their shit in what we do, over $2,000 and $3,000 checks. These dwarf those. And he got us going with the Top Alcohol stuff. And it was just a cool time because we had money rolling in, parts and pieces, and we were growing by leaps and bounds. And Peter helped that. He fed into that that mindset of, the best sales guy is the one you just made a sale, go get another, and he would
Sure.
help us push people our way. My buddy Mike Reel at Merck Construction, he helped me quite a bit. Racers, I feel very strongly about. Jagger Naves and Bill Naves, Matt Stamball, Mark Lee, my West Coast buddy, phone call away. Dave Harada was instrumental in helping me get the VP racing deal. My crew guys, my graphic design guy, Dan Gillespie, he owns a company called Hot Rod Portraits. My partner, Randy Moore, he's been a huge help. He's learning his way around a funny car. He's moving at warp speed. It's like he's been doing it his whole life. Luke Ellis, Keith Decker. And then I have my secret sauce is Reverend Johnny. I don't know if Chris knows who Reverend Johnny is. Reverend Johnny is about as much of a reverend as I am a woman. He's he ain't no reverend. You remember he had the Pure Hell altered.
Yes.
No, I'm sorry, not Pure Hell. The Hellbound altered. Johnny.
Yeah.
He's been with us for 10 years. He's our secret sauce. He's a great guy. And Keith Decker helps us a lot. He's kind of when we bang stuff up, he fixes things. He makes things look pretty. He helps us with the car at the shop here. And then Bobby. I mean, what can you say about Bobby? He's the ringleader. It's Bobby's world. We all live in it. Bobby. Yeah, he's the guy. So, and we have a pretty cool deal here where if you ever hear me talk about it, 99% of the time I'll say us and we and our. I don't use terminology like I and me. I just don't like it because I feel like this is a combination of a lot of people putting a lot of effort in to make this car go down the track because it's not easy. It costs a lot of money. It takes a lot of time. And somehow we managed to keep this car together, this team together after Rocky passed away, and continue to do this in his honor. I'm very grateful. I'm very proud of that.
Very cool.
Awesome. Sounds like you have a hell of a team built up there.
Yeah. Oh, we do. I mean, we've been doing this for a while, and we have guys that we share between, Fox's team and our team. And, I have a good group of guys that really, I mean, they're just great, and they sacrifice a lot. Like I said, I have a new partner. His name's Randy Moore. He's great. It's our new logo. You can see I'm kind of like the rock and roll stuff.
Nice.
So AC/DC style, Mustard
Yeah,
Motorsports. So yeah, I'm grateful for that. It's given us an opportunity to just keep on keeping on. I think we're going to run maybe between 6 and 8, maybe 6, 7, 8 races a year. That's where I kind of want to be right now.
Yeah.
For years, we did 12 to 15 with a Top Alcohol Dragster, and we do 10 and 12 with Time Bomb. And I was looking at 20, there's 52 weekends in a year, and I'm racing 26 of them.
You're halfway there. Yeah, right.
I got a 15-year-old kid that just grew up, and I missed a lot of it. So I
Right.
don't, I'm trying to slow that stuff down.
Nice, nice.
Plus
Have-
work, they hate it.
Have you, yeah, well, have you had the pleasure of meeting Jay Blake by any chance?
Oh, of course, absolutely. Jay's on my speed dial. It's funny. My wife is tighter with Jay than I am. She talks to Jay. She just spoke to him last week, and Jay has sent my son, since we've met him for the last probably 4 or 5 years. Every year he sends him a Christmas gift, something
That's
blind
awesome.
related and stuff. And he sent him a click rule last year, which is really cool. That's something that blind used to measure
Sure.
distance.
Yep.
It's a neat thing. And
Cool.
yeah,
That's
we know
great.
Jay very well.
I'm working with administration at the school I teach at, to try and get Jay in, to do his thing and talk to the students.
Yeah.
Trying to get Jay isn't the issue. It's coordinating it with the school. That's the issue.
Sure.
Because him, he's always more than willing to do whatever he
Oh
can
yeah.
to
Without
help
a doubt.
anybody that he can.
Sure. He's a great guy. I mean,
He
he
really
really
is.
is just salt of the earth. Great guy.
Yep. Yep. So the
I
story is incredible.
Yeah.
What he does is incredible. And, it's part of the racing family. So you know how that all goes.
My little guy, Chase, come here. Come up here. He's listening. He's sitting down here. I'm up on the deck and he's sitting down listening. Chaser, do you want to come say hi? You can tell him why you like racing. He won't come up. I tried, told Chris.
He
I was
won't,
gonna
huh?
try. He's only
Yeah,
nine.
he
so
tried to
he's
get him
shy.
on before we came on.
I
and,
thought maybe I'd try.
He wasn't having any of it.
Yeah. He's
That's
the
all
rock
good.
star in our family. That's for sure.
Good, good, good.
So now, have the boys expressed any interest in getting more involved in the racing stuff?
Chaser loves it. I mean, that kid, I'm telling you, he knows from hat to pan just about everything, where it is, what it's called, just by touching it. My 15-year-old could care less. He is
Really?
into video games and fixing his hair nice, and he's a good boy. He gets great. He's almost a straight A student in school,
Yep.
but he just doesn't care about the racing end of things. Although he
Gotcha.
does help us because I make him in the garage quite a bit.
There
So
you
he
go.
does do work. He does put in sweat equity.
And that's pretty funny because my son couldn't care less about
Yeah.
anything automotive, but my stepson, he is all about it. He's got a car, he races, he comes with me all the time. So
That's great.
you never know where it's gonna fall in, but
You just
it
don't.
does.
The
Yeah.
kids we got an alcohol funny car sitting on jack stands. It's a 200-mile-an-hour car anywhere. We run it down a dirt road at 200 and
Sure.
he just doesn't care.
It happens.
It's just the way it is. I don't want
Yep.
to force him to do anything he doesn't want to do. Whatever he does is fine with me.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
You do be respectful, get good grades, and
He does that.
that's
He's
the
got that
important
covered.
stuff.
That's the more important. Absolutely.
Yeah,
without a
without a
doubt.
doubt.
Well, Pete's still trying to get me to grow up and stop liking road racing.
There's nothing wrong with that. I have one saying: all racing, doesn't matter what class you're in or what your genre is. All racing is good. Racing is good.
I couldn't agree more.
See what he
I
said?
totally agree with that. However,
Except,
I don't want to learn any of it
But-
because I like what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
but
This brain could only handle so much stuff, and it's filled with drag racing. So I just
No
don't
more
have room.
space to rent in the head.
I just
no,
don't
his
have any
head's-
more
his
room.
head's full of,
That's right.
well,
Yeah.
It was
stuff.
limited capacity before drag racing, so that just put it over the top.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So I mean, we're looking forward. I'm already looking ahead. In this deal, I'm always thinking 5-6 pool shots ahead, and I'm already thinking about next year now, and where we're going to be in relation to the time bomb, parts and pieces, where we're going racing, will the new car be ready, things like that. So as the owner, that's something that I need to think about, and then we as a team will figure it all out together because that's what we do.
Cool.
We all kind of land on the same. We're on the same page, and I think it's a nice. I look to Bobby for input, Randy for input. I look at Reverend Johnny for a lot of input. He's been great with advice and things like that, and helping, and he's just there. And then we have Decker. We get his input, and and we'll be off and running. I'm just grateful that we can take a car because we heard it in Ohio. And we haven't heard it in like a year, knock on wood, but it just shows you how quickly and humbling it can be when you bang it, and then you got to be ready to come back from that. And we don't
Right.
have a ton of parts under the bench, you know. I mean, we have some, we have more than some and less than some, you know. We need to have, if you want to be able to run it, you got to have parts to fix it, because you can't get them. We can't get them in any kind of timely fashion.
Is that
Makes it
right?
tough. Yeah, it's difficult. Yeah, I've been waiting on sleeves for 6-7 weeks now and still not here. But that's okay though, you know. We'll be fine without them. We're more about preventative maintenance. Bobby likes to run the car preventatively, you know, yanking rods out at 20 runs, yanking pistons out at 25 runs, pulling the crank at 40 runs, you know, things like that, where we try and run things with some kind of thought process involved, as far as being preventative and
Sure.
you know, not blowing it up by just keep changing stuff out.
Yep.
That's, I mean, I certainly didn't learn that from Rocky Roxalow. You know, Rocky didn't give a shit, man. He would throw stuff in there and just send it, you know, but
Make it a jewelry box and then you go from there.
yeah, God bless him though. But you know, he wanted to run all the time, you know, and I'm just a little different, my mindset, where, you know, we as a team, if we go out, we want to put on a good show. We want the car to haul ass. And everybody says nobody cares about the times and the numbers and stuff like that, but that's bullshit. Why does everyone look at the scoreboard then? Why did you ask us what our quickest run is? You know,
Yeah,
everybody
exactly.
wants to know what the car will run.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, and saying it and doing it are two different things. You know, I think actions speak louder than words. And I think that you get a car that's running 6 seconds, 200 miles an hour consistently in this day and age, you got something. Not
Sure.
everybody can do that.
Very cool.
Amen.
Well, like I said, you guys put on a hell of a show, having seen it in person and seen enough videos of it too, that
Thank
you
you.
do put on a good show. There's no question about it. And anybody says they don't care about the time is full of crap. So
Yeah. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that.
you got it, buddy. Well, listen, Steve, we're gonna cut you loose and let you go hang out with the boys. And thank you for coming on and hanging out. I really appreciate it. Like I said, you know, I haven't talked to you in a while, and it was good to chat with you again.
Nice
Steve,
to catch up with you. God bless you.
Was a
All right,
pleasure meeting you, and sorry I was late, but glad I was able to jump on.
Yeah, it was nice to talk to you too, Pete.
Same.
Yep. You guys have a good night. Keep running that Vega, Pete.
All
All right,
right,
guys.
Steve, take care.
Take care. I'll
Good to
see you
talk to
later,
you
buddy.
again, buddy.
Yeah. All right. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, Steve Musser, the Time Bomb Nostalgia Funny Car Team. Cool dude. Cool
Yeah,
bunch of
yeah,
guys.
very cool, dude.
Yep. So it was a lot of fun.
I mean,
Right,
all
so
cool
I-
guys are running Vegas, so obviously he's
Well,
cool.
obviously, yeah. Like I said, I got to hang out with them the year that I went to PRI and had a blast. It
Good,
was-
good.
it was a
Yeah, no, he
good-
seems like a great guy to hang out with.
Yeah, him and Tom Fox. It was him, Tom Fox, Bobby, Rocky, and a couple other people. I don't remember who it was, but I either way, I had a good time, and I was glad I got to meet everybody that I did through Steve. So
Very cool.
what's going on, pal?
Nothing. School's over. Shop is busy.
I feel like I haven't talked to you in forever. Of course,
It's been a while. I know we were off for a couple of weeks, and I think I wasn't around for the week before. And yeah, I know.
yeah, and I was busy last week. So
Yeah, how you feeling today? You're looking pretty good.
I'm okay.
Good, good.
Pretty much go with I'm okay.
Yeah. How many
So,
more treatments you got? You got to be winding down.
Actually, last week we met with my actual oncologist, and she is saying, as of right now, end of August, beginning of September.
Okay.
And I go back to Boston, and they do their thing, you know, all their testing, and
Yep.
they'll decide if I have to keep going weekly, or if I can do what they call maintenance chemo, which I'm assuming is like, you know, once a month or
Once a
every
month, something like that, right?
yeah, whatever. But all my numbers are trending good. Everything's looking good. Just feel like crap. But other than that, I mean, I didn't get sick last week. So
I
that's
remember
a
that.
bonus. Hope I didn't sleep.
Yeah.
I literally was up all night, either reading or watching TV.
Right.
And hopefully won't get sick tonight. I don't care if I don't sleep because I'm on summer break, so I can
Sure.
grab a nap during the day. But all in all, no complaints.
Good. Good. Good.
Little
Well, fingers
whiny.
crossed you make it through the night without getting sick. And as far as chemo fog, it doesn't really look any different than your regular fog.
Then my normal duh. So
So, I
Um,
mean, I guess we could go over some winners from the national event and stuff like that, but we all know what the big subject is right now.
Yep, and I think we should hit on that. Let's do that, and then let's do the results afterwards.
Okay. Little disturbing that we don't have any updates yet. And not disturbing because we're nosy and we need to know. Disturbing because I would think if everything was okay or going to be okay, that we would have known by now.
Right.
That's a little scary. I mean, the more time goes by, I would think the less chance of them making an announcement that he's got 2 broken ribs and a mild concussion and he'll be racing again by the end of the year, you know?
Right.
I get the feeling that ship probably has sailed, unfortunately.
Yeah. I did reach out to some friends of ours, and they were not able to comment for obvious reasons.
Right. What
So I-
kind
I-
of ticked me off was the interviews shortly after with the racers and how emotional they were. It's kind of, you don't normally see it when it's just an accident and they get taken off to the hospital and not a big deal. I mean, when grown ass men are crying, you kind of get the feeling that it's more than what's being shown.
Right. I mean, and then obviously the guy is 75 years old.
Right.
You know, we're in our 50s. We don't come back as quickly as we did 20 years ago.
Amen to
Hell,
that,
even
brother.
10
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
And so whatever is wrong, even if it's, just a busted leg, a concussion, maybe some bruised ribs, that's I broke 3 ribs 6-7 years ago, and that was hell.
Yeah. Because there's nothing you could do for it except for walk on
Suffer.
eggshells and let it heal, right?
Yeah, you can't do really anything.
Coughing's a nightmare, sneezing's a nightmare, the whole 9 yards, right?
Oh yeah, and again, he's not a spring chicken anymore. So
Right.
whatever is wrong is, you know, who knows? This might be the career-ending explosion. You know what I mean?
I got to tell you, I fully expect it to be career ending. But I would love to be able to see him walking around at the track, supporting his drivers, and with no side effects from this.
Right.
That's, I mean, my opinion, that's pretty much what I'm hoping for right now. I was talking to David Knapp today through Facebook, just on a post, and a couple of exchanges back and forth, and we both agreed that, I mean, 10 years ago, he had nothing left to prove. He
No.
definitely doesn't have anything to prove now.
No.
The only thing that I would have liked to have seen was him to be able to knock down another championship at 75 years old. I think would have been awesome. But the dude won 16 of them. And
Yep.
he's winning races at 75 years old, and he's number 2 in points. And granted, we're nowhere near the end of the season. But I mean, so what? It's super impressive.
Oh, absolutely.
You wish he could have went out on his own terms instead of something like this. And I'm talking like I know what's wrong with him and that he's all done. And obviously
Right.
none of us know that for a fact, but
The what if this
pretty
is,
much, yeah, right.
the
know.
end, the career ending, injuries or whatever. Again,
Right.
we're not saying that, we know anything, because we don't. We
Correct.
only
Correct.
as much as everybody else does.
Like
Other
I
than-
said, I would love nothing more 3 or 4 races from now to see him on the starting line, cheering on the driver that they put in his seat to finish out the year. That to me would be the best possible outcome.
Yep. I will say one cool thing that I did get the opportunity to see at the national event in Epping. Excuse me, was I think Brittany was second or third in line to run. And obviously he was up there on his scooter like he always is.
Sure.
And they did a salute to first responders.
Yep.
And he was on the side, he was on the spectator side of the Jersey Wall at New England.
Yep.
And he was the first dude, I happened to look over, he was the first dude to take his hat off when they did
Yep.
the salute. Now, we all know he's a space cadet,
Oh,
but
he's nuts. Yeah, no, he's certifiable, and you hope to God he doesn't have any form of a head injury, because I don't know how much more that head could take. He's nuts. He's absolutely nuts. If he grew up 20 years ago, 10 years ago now, he would have been diagnosed with so many friggin' things that they didn't even know of back 75 years ago. He would have every ADHD, you name it, he would have it. I'm convinced of that.
or if it was 50, or if he was 50 years ago, hell, 60 years ago, he would have been locked up and they threw away the key.
yeah, yeah.
And he's sitting there, he'd been in there banging on the door going, I want to go,
Yeah.
I wanna go racing."
He's nuts, but I mean, you can't deny what he's done for the sport.
Oh, absolutely.
And I actually, in scrolling through Facebook today, excuse me, here come the yawns. Going through Facebook today, Charlie Yannetti hit the nail on the head. And I can't quote it because I don't remember verbatim what he said, but basically it's like through the years, I've never been a huge John Force fan. But this is so much beyond rooting for a driver. This is a human being. And arguably there isn't anyone who's done more for the sport than him. And, you know, as a human, whether you're a fan or not, you hope to God that, you know, he comes out of this unscathed and could do things on his own terms instead of medically having to do things, you know?
Right, being forced to do it.
Yeah, yeah,
Bear with me for just 1 sec. So I actually
absolutely.
just found that.
Yep.
I know Charlie won't mind me reading it. For those that know me, for those who know me, you know that I'm not a big John Force fan or even a fan of John Force Racing, but I'm getting a bunch of contacts asking what happened. Got to tell you, folks, this is a horrendous crash, and hopefully John Force will be okay. A lot of bench racers have offered many opinions, and we'll talk about that
Nah,
too, as to what might have taken place and even what didn't take place or should have taken place. But at the end of the day, it's a man's life that matters. Thoughts and prayers to John Force and the family for a full and speedy recovery. And as Charlie always ends everything, hope we can all imagine that.
absolutely. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Charlie's
absolutely.
been around a long time. So, I mean, he's not shy with an opinion.
Right.
We know that.
Oh, it's no secret to anyone that knows both of us on Facebook. We butted heads probably more than we haven't online, if I had to guess. But you know, again, people could get heated with opinions and emotion. But when it comes down to a racing family member, there's no denying, you know, what he's done for the sport and what we're all hoping for an outcome.
Absolutely. Well, we will keep this brief. But the vast right-wing conspiracy came out in full force basically last night and this morning that they left the tethers in, the pins in, you know, and luckily a lot of people produced pictures of the rear end of the car
Right.
on the line during the past at the explosion. And I think I put one up of it on the Ram truck where you could clearly see
Yeah,
the
yeah,
rear end of the car and the parachutes. They weren't pinned. They wouldn't have the, remove before flight
right.
tag. And, for all the safety systems you have, let's face the facts, sometimes shit happens.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
it happened.
first of all, I want to know, why is it a right-wing conspiracy?
It's always a right wing conspiracy. I don't know.
Okay, I am Republican,
It's a
just like-
conspiracy. All right, we'll go. It's a dead center conspiracy.
Okay, all right, good,
There
fair
we go.
enough.
Hold on. There
I
we
have
go.
to stick up, even though everyone thinks I'm a liberal Democrat, I have to stick up for my Republican buddies. But, listen, it could be something as simple as, now again, I'm just talking, I've never sat in a funny car. I don't know anything about the safeties on a funny car. I do know when they're supposed to deploy. I know that they have activation through burst panels. I know they have activation through oil pan pressure. And I also know that when they cross a certain spot on the track above a certain mile an hour, it automatically deploys the chutes also. That being said, I assume that they're air launchers. I don't know if they have fail safes besides the air. Did the explosion take out the air so that they couldn't launch? Did the explosion bind up the cables so that they couldn't be pulled? We don't know. We have no idea.
Right.
But I guarantee you NHRA will figure it out. I also guarantee you that NHRA will probably learn something from this, like they do with all the accidents, and hopefully do something about it. I mean, but to just try and put blame, listen, parachutes out or not, I don't know. My personal opinion is that that side slap is what did most of the damage. And I don't know that parachutes would have prevented that side slap. It might have slowed it down a little bit, but I don't know. With that fireball, it was wicked. That was a wicked explosion. It hit that side barrier really, really hard. I mean, I didn't analyze the video, but from a little bit that I saw it, it looked like after the first explosion that it actually rainbowed the chassis. The chassis to me looked bowed before it even hit a wall. Now, again, I don't know if I just saw it. I didn't super slow mo it and analyze it. Not that I would know what the hell I'm analyzing anyway, but I mean, that concussion was wicked.
One of the things that I saw that really caught my eye, as strange as this may sound, I don't know what the tensile strength of the rear wheels are on those cars.
Did you see
I
that?
imagine it's quite high. Yeah, it looked like the whole inner rim was just sheared because that
So-
thing was just
What it
flailing all
looked
over
like
the
to
place.
me is the barrel separated from the center section, the flange,
Yeah.
whatever the hell you want to call it. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, it was violent on so many levels. Just like you hate to bring up something like this, but when Eric Medlin passed away, I mean, John John Medlin is Eric's father, right? I think it's John and John. I mean, they led the forefront in probably the most safety changes Top Fuel has ever seen. When Daryl Russell passed away, a piece of the strut from the rear wing came through the back of the cage. Now they got the titanium hood, for lack of better terms,
Yeah.
that covers the whole top of the cage, the back of the
Yep.
cage, right?
Yep.
I mean, Scott Coletta, when something happened with him, they shortened up the track because they realized that the speeds these things are going, they need that extra 320 feet to shut down. I mean, that's how you learn. That's not to say they sit back on their heels and they wait for an injury in order to make a change. But unfortunately, injuries are part of making a change.
Right.
Just kind of the world we live in,
I mean, I don't by any stretch claim to know exactly how those kill boxes work that
Right.
the companies have. But being somewhat intelligent, let's face the facts. Again, like I said a minute ago, sometimes shit happens.
Right,
And a lot of shit happened.
right,
We don't know if the airlines got cut. We don't know if the electrical power to whatever that kill box is
Yep.
got cut. You know, the tethers on the body, would it have helped? Maybe, maybe not. But the
right,
chutes were deployed, maybe, maybe not.
right.
It's a hard telling, not knowing.
Some people are talking about the bodies being tethered to the chassis and making an explosion or a crash worse because they don't break away.
Right. And
I
then
guarantee you, if you interview 50 top fuelers and given the choice between a body flying off and possibly hurting someone in the stands or staying on and you get what you get and you ride through it, I would promise you 50 out of 50 would say, we're the monkeys driving these shit boxes. Let us assume all the responsibility. I don't want anything for my car hurting an innocent bystander. I'll take my chances.
right. I've got what it basically amounts to a survival suit on my body.
Right,
I have a better chance than Pete Sanka sitting in the third row on the pit side, who's gonna get whacked in the friggin' chest by a piece of carbon fiber coming off my
Right.
body.
right. And it's not hypothetical. We've seen these bodies go 50 feet in the air. We've seen these bodies come down on the other side of the Jersey barriers, right? It's not like, oh, it might happen or it never happened. It's happened. It's happened a lot.
Yeah.
So
It's
I
no different-
guarantee you there is not one drag racer that would be okay with the fact that a piece of their car just came off and hurt someone in the stands when it could have been prevented.
No different than the blowovers and the dragsters.
You got it. Yep.
Same exact idea, you know? Uh, I don't remember the exact time, maybe 6, 7 years ago. I think it was John Fink had a tire come apart at New England in one of
Yep.
when they had the 2-car team. for
Mhm.
the And, you know, a piece of that wheel and tire ended up not too far from the stands at the divisional at New England on the pit
Right.
side. You know, and again, that was shit happens, man. and
That's
some-
scary. That's scary. And if someone said to him, there's something we could put around the wheel that if it blows up again, it might send you on a wild ride, but it's going to keep the people in the stands a lot safer. 99 out of 100 would say,
Yeah,
put it
where
on the
do I-
car. I'll
wh-
take
who
my
do I make the
chances.
check?
Right.
who
I
do
don't
I
want
make the
someone
check out
innocent
to?
getting hurt. Absolutely.
All right, give me 6 of them.
Exactly.
Yep.
So,
But I like I said, you know, the dude he's an older gentleman, obviously, as we all know, he's 75 years old.
Right.
He's not gonna bounce back as quickly as he wants to or he hopes to, you know, which will probably
no, and I
threaten to
mean,
sedate the guy basically, to get him to
let's
calm.
let's be honest. With all the shit that he's been through with previous accidents, he's probably already got some lingering issues from. I mean, he's the evil Knievel of our sport.
Right.
Right. How many bones has he broken? How many, he's been through, how many times he's been on fire? He's got to have residual stuff going on with his body from previous stuff already. And then this on top of it, it's, you're not starting out with 100% healthy candidate, I wouldn't think. And then, like you said, at 75 years old, I know at 50 years old, it's not pretty, and I don't go through anything of what that guy goes through. So I can only imagine.
No, it wouldn't be the least bit surprising if, you know, his wife is henpecking him right now to say, you know.
His wife, his kids, his grandkids, you name it.
Well, and it's been a hell of a ride. Let's hang the helmet up over there.
While we still can.
Yeah.
No
So-
doubt. Cool. Let's do some results and get the hell out of here.
All right, we have results. I'm prepared this time, believe it or
Look
not.
at you.
I am. I'm fantastic. All right, so the NHRA Mission Foods Drag Racing Series was at the 4th annual Play NHRA Virginia Nationals at Virginia Motorsports Park. The race is number 9 of 20 of the NHRA Mission Foods Drag Racing Series. And just as another thing, another thought I'm going to offer before we do this, Mission Foods has really got it going on with the stuff they have going on in the pits, man.
Yep,
I was impressed at New England. I really
Yeah.
was.
that's cool.
So
I
that
haven't
was,
been able to witness it yet, but hopefully I will soon enough.
yep. All right, so Top Fuel, the gentleman is on a roll now. I think he's officially got all his wins at every track now. Of course, I'm talking about Doug Coletta over Sean Langdon in
Yeah.
Top Fuel.
And this is the second time this year that it's been an all Coletta final.
That I'm not sure of.
It might have been, I know it's at least 2, it might be more, but boy, you want to talk about a whole team that's hitting on all cylinders.
Absolutely. All right. Funny car, Austin Prock in the Chevy Camaro over Bob Tasker III in his Ford Mustang. So pretty cool that all things considered with everything that happened at Virginia, Team Force brought home the Wally.
Yeah, I have to believe that you never ever want to lose a final, but if you're going to be remotely okay with it, I have to believe Tasca was as close to okay with it as you could be considering the circumstances.
Absolutely. Pro Stock, Aaron Stanfield over at Dallas Glen. And also to kind of expound on Pro Stock stuff, did you see the big announcement from Elite
With the new driver?
with the new driver?
Yes, I did.
All right, Sienna Wild, God, I hope I say it right. Sienna Wild Goose. Hold on, bear with me. I hate butchering last names, even though I'm really good at it. Where's Taylor when we need her?
Right.
All right, Sienna Wild Gust is what I'm going with.
Okay.
Has signed basically with Elite Motorsports to become part of their Pro Stock juggernaut.
Pretty cool.
Yep.
So
All
I,
right.
I heard something when I was watching, and hopefully Duran's not watching because I'm sure he'll be typing and commenting and correcting me like crazy. But Brittany Force ran. Help me out here. Who's the other girl in Top Fuel now? Her father raced.
Oh,
I know. Isn't that terrible?
Scrappers Racing.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Well, anyways, everyone out there knows who I'm talking about except for me. So the announcer said, Brian Loans said that that's only the 4th different female driver that Brittany Force has faced in her career. Isn't that crazy?
I would say in the modern era, that's probably pretty close to true.
Oh, I'm sure. Listen, if Brian Loans said it, it's true. But
Right, in the
if you,
modern era, let me rephrase that, in the last 10 years.
yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, but if you think about how much women have contributed to that sport, I mean, obviously, once it's said, you think back to the women that actually raced in Top Fuel, right? You got Leah.
Shirley, obviously, the first name that always comes to mind, Shirley.
Yeah, but Brittany never raced against Shirley. I'm
No,
talking about
no.
like in the last 10 to
All right,
15 years.
Okay, yeah. So
You know,
Leah,
I'm sure she never raced Melanie Troxel. That was before her.
yeah, that was, she probably wasn't even born then.
I think Kristen Powell was before Brittany.
Yep,
So yeah, you have Salinas.
yep. Yeah, Salinas, there we go.
How's
Jasmine,
that?
is it Jasmine?
Jazz,
Salinas?
yeah. One drives a pro stock bike and the other one Top Fuel. But yeah, so and I'm having a tough time thinking of who the other two could be.
Billy, we need to get Billy. Billy's got to be our
Oh
lifeline.
God, yeah, no. Billy probably has them in alphabetical order and years they competed.
Categorized and by hair color and whatnot.
Exactly.
That
He
kid's
is one
great.
smart dude, boy.
He is great. Couple other things, actually. I did see today, kind of backing up to Top Fuel, Julie Natas is working on her Top Fuel license in a dragster.
Very good. Maybe she'll be number 5.
She may be number 5.
Yep.
She's got some serious family backing too, I think. So,
Cool.
all right.
So
Well,
another thing, Aaron Stanfield had. I'm no, I'm gonna get the order right. Semifinal, he was 003. Final round, he was 007.
Cool.
So those are a couple of pretty impressive pro stock reaction times back to back for a semifinal and a final.
Absolutely. All right. Pro stock motorcycle. The big talk of the weekend, of course, Gage Herrera was going to be or tie Bob Glidden's. Was it?
He
was it a
he
tie?
was tied. He broke it. They were tied at
Right, so he
9,
broke the
and he
tie
got 10.
with Bob Glidden for the most national event wins in a row.
In a row, correct. Consecutive. Yep.
Yep. All right. So pro stock bike Gage Herrera defeated Richard Gadsden. So pretty impressive.
I was curious. It looked like it didn't look like it. Obviously was. Eddie Krawick was, I don't know if he's crew chief or on the team or what the deal is for the other guy. They were teammates that raced. And it made me wonder, like, where's he been? How come he's not racing? I'm sure there are people out there that know why, but I had no idea. It was kind of weird to see him on the sidelines and not physically on a bike.
Yep. All right, comp eliminator. How come we haven't seen Mr. Fraser with one of his 47 race cars?
He is, it's funny that our guest tonight was talking about parts and availability.
Is he a victim of parts?
Rich is struggling with parts.
Really?
Yeah. He hurt a motor, an engine, I should say. Was it the beginning of this year or the end of last year? I want to say it was the beginning of this year. And it's parts off the shelf. Off the shelf parts are hard enough to get. When it comes to comp
stuff, right?
Yeah, when it comes to comp, with the exception of maybe lug nuts, there isn't a whole hell of a lot of off the shelf parts that go into those cars. So, yeah, it's he's fallen victim to the parts people.
Gotcha. All right, well, that answers that question then. All right, comp eliminator, the mighty Cavalier of Joe Carnescali defeated Michelle Costa in the Bantam. So, her car looks like a twin to one of Frankie's cars.
Yeah. Yeah, all the Bantams kind of look alike.
Yeah, they all look cool. I like them. That's what I love about comp. Don't do it because I'll have a headache. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I love comp for the diversity of everything.
Yep.
Again, a door here in perfect case, door car against an open wheel, an open cockpit car.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't this weekend because he competed in Pro Mod, but the week before, Ricky Smith was in comp.
He
just
cleaned house in comp eliminator.
Right. He was testing, doing his thing, and yeah, he was in comp working on his car. And you hit the nail on the head. The amount of variety. I mean, on any given day, you see a pro mod coming up and saying, "Yeah, I'm going to get in comp and figure shit out with my car." It's pretty wild.
Hopefully, he didn't destroy the poor index.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
But if anybody was going to do it, and is it AA Pro Mod for comp?
No idea.
I think it's AA Pro Mod. For
now, Ricky Smith is a nitrous guy with Pro Mod. Are you allowed to run nitrous in comp, or did he have to run it NA? I don't know.
Right. So check that out. I didn't even think about that when I saw it.
Yeah.
All right, so again, Joe Coniscali and the Mighty Cavalier defeated Michelle Costa in her Ken Kier Bantam in Comp Eliminator at Virginia. All right, Super Stock, Jeff Atkinson defeated the singing race car driver PJ Fouts.
Yep.
PJ's cool. All right, what else we got? Let's see. Stock Eliminator. Cody Phillips in the Chevy Corvette over Cliff Heinsohn in the Chevy Camaro. Super Comp. This is a race I was watching, obviously, because Amanda Boychesko is in it.
Absolutely.
Anthony Bertazzi defeated Amanda Boychesko. Only reason I know this is because I put it on Facebook. He was 002, dead on with a 7.
And I don't know if it was on the post you made or if it was on Anthony made a post himself, but I believe he made a comment and Amanda commented on it. He made a post and Amanda commented on it. And to watch those two exchange words with each other, it was cool to see the mutual respect between the two and giving credit where credit is due in the whole 9 yards. It's really cool to see that because, Anthony obviously is no stranger to Victory Circle. And neither is Amanda. I mean, she's killed it for a long time, but it's really cool to see the mutual respect between the two.
Absolutely. And she's been on a roll. I don't know the exact stats. I know Rob Keister posted it last night, maybe, or maybe Sunday night. But she's on a roll this year.
Good for her. She
Yep.
has the ability to be on a roll often.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. And Super Gas. Some more Mid-Atlantic .90 players. Keith Mayers in his Porsche. He didn't race the Alpha this year.
Never heard of him.
Never. I know. It's doesn't he work at the 7-Eleven down the street?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
Who did Keith
I'm
beat?
glad you don't have Facebook, Keith.
Yeah, exactly.
I know your wife does.
Who did Keith beat?
All right. Keith Mayers in the Mighty Porsche defeated Don Knoblich, aka Kelly Barbados' fiance.
Yep.
So
Beautiful Corvette.
Oh, the thing's gorgeous. I think he runs Top Sportsman with it as well. I think that's gonna be. I think his vet is gonna be like what Jason's Duster is gonna be. All right, which class this weekend?
This one, yeah, yeah, right.
Yep. But yeah, beautiful Corvette. Don went. I don't know if this is. I'd have to check with Kelly if this is his first national event final. But he went. He lit the cherry, as you like to say. Top Sportsman Sandy Wilkins over Jeff Brooks. Of course, Jeff drives one of the most unique cars in all of Top Sportsman drag racing, the Henry J.
Yep.
And I think that's a brand new car this year too. All right. Pro Mod, Ricky Smith over Chris Thorne. Mountain Motor Pro Stock, Johnny Bluchino defeated Elijah Morton. Now, did you happen to notice that Randy Lynn outqualified Bo Butner?
I did not.
Yep.
No kidding.
I don't remember if it was second or third, but she was second or third,
Yep.
and he was further down the list, like 7th, 8th, 9th.
Cool.
I thought that was cool. All right, Top Fuel Motorcycle, Spider-Man, Larry McBride defeated Mitch Brown. Now, we talked briefly about this. 235 miles an hour in the freaking wide open like that. No.
And
No.
he went, am I right in saying he went in the force?
Yeah, the one I sent you the Saturday night maybe?
Right.
Yeah,
He was the only one in the
high
force.
fours, just
Yep.
just a tick under 5 seconds, but still, I mean, yeah, they were going 1,000 feet.
And
but
it
still.
was 400 friggin' degrees out.
Yeah. Holy
You-
crap.
I know. It's crazy.
I mean, let's see, his winning run, the ET was a was a 5-second flat with a 3 on the tail end of it.
Right.
And 235.89 miles an hour. Now I've gone 70 on a snowmobile. I told you this.
Yeah, yeah.
I've gone 70 on a snowmobile, stuck my head just far enough above the windshield that it scared the
Right.
other little crap out of me. And so I would never do it again. I
And in
can't-
all reality, the sled said 70 because the track was probably spinning. It was probably more like 60.
Yeah, still,
Still scary as hell,
it
right?
still scared the crap out of me. 235 miles an hour in the wide open with not a damn thing around you to protect you except,
I know,
what, quarter-inch of leather?
right?
Nope, I'm good. Cool to see, never, no way.
Yeah, yeah. I'll shake your hand, but I ain't sitting on that seat.
Nope. And I think, don't they wear like a titanium plate on their chest too?
Kevlar.
Kevlar, okay.
It's essentially a bulletproof vest.
Man, we can't, no, 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 no.
Then they might have titanium under that too. Who the hell knows?
Right, under the, yeah, underneath all the ribs and shit they broke.
Listen, when they have to start it without the rider sitting on it in fear of it blowing up when they start it, that's pretty crazy.
That's just wrong on 78 different levels.
Yep.
All right, junior dragster shootout. Chloe Grease over Valerie Wright. And that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, are your winners from the 4th annual Play NHRA Virginia Nationals at Virginia Motorsports Park. Again, that was race number 9 of 20. They are off and running for this coming weekend at Summit Racing Equipment NHRA Nationals at Summit Motorsports Park in the world famous Norwalk, Ohio, racing for the ice cream scoop.
Yeah, right.
So,
Pound of ice cream for $1 or something goofy like that.
yeah, what, a pound, 2 pounds?
I think it's a pound. Well, it's always been a pound for $1. I don't know if inflation has changed that or not, but
Yeah, I doubt it with Bader running that now.
Yeah, right.
So,
cool.
so first off, I want to compliment you on your choice of loungewear this evening. That is
Thank you.
exquisite.
Thank you very much. I actually wore it all day today too.
Sweet. Of course, you know what this one says.
No, I sure
But
do.
it's in yellow, so you can't see it.
Yeah, we all know what it is.
If you know, you know.
That's
So,
right.
Pete, what's your plan? I know you're going away this weekend, so you won't be at the Night of Fire.
That is
Saturday.
correct. I'm actually not going away. I went away last weekend.
Oh, okay.
The weekend before, I took the dragster up to the valley, and it ran like compete crap. I'm not really sure why yet, but we got the car to the shop tonight. We're going to get it inside tomorrow, or the next day, and try and figure out why it's running the way it's running. In a perfect world, I will be going to Lebanon Valley for the divisional. If they have test and tune on Thursday, I'd like to make a couple of laps in it to complete my open cockpit license. But I will not be competing at the divisional.
No.
So with any kind of luck, I'll be there for the weekend. I'm guessing I'll probably have to donate $200 for a tech card and not compete, but I do want to be there. I enjoy seeing all the people hanging out, but I'm in no position to start competing in that car. It won't run in Top Dragster, and I don't have the time or the patience to try and get a throttle stop program together for it in such short notice. So I'll be there. Hopefully I can make a couple laps on Thursday if they have it. If not, then I'll just be donating to NHRA and hanging out with a bunch of great people.
Well, Wayne will put you to work. He'll find something for you to do.
Which is fine with me too. I don't mind doing that either.
All right, well, Elijah and I are going to be there on Saturday. The return, I don't remember the last time when it was, but the barbecue is returning to the divisional race at Lebanon Valley.
Yep.
It'll kick off about 6 o'clock on Saturday night. And also, BJ Masiello is doing a ice cream social for junior dragster drivers. If you go on BJ's Facebook page, he has a sign up list so he knows about how much to bring. And I
Very
asked
cool.
him if fat podcast hosts qualify as junior dragster drivers, and he said yes.
Excellent.
So
Good stuff.
yep. So I'm gonna be at Lebanon Valley this Friday for the Night of Fire, my first trip out there for that. Looking forward to that.
Yep.
And then I will be back next Saturday with Junior Barnes. He's coming with me. He wants to go, which is cool. So if anybody needs crew help, he'll help you. Whether he
Awesome.
wants to or not, he'll help you.
That's right.
Trust me, he will.
Good stuff.
So he had
All
fun
right, brother.
tearing his car apart today in the driveway too. So
Oh.
he'll show me to do some stuff.
Very cool.
So that's that. Steve Musser, I want to thank you for your time, my good man, and coming on and talking about the time bomb, the cherry bomb, and
Pleasure
the
having him on.
major program. And Pete, as always, like I said, we haven't talked much. It's just been a crappy week for
Yep.
me. And so not much going on anyway, so that's always good. I don't get any phone calls and get yelled at.
Nothing wrong with that.
You're a good boy.
Yeah.
I would like to compliment everybody who has joined our page over the last week and a half or so.
Yeah, it's
like,
been floodgates seem to be opening, right?
absolutely, it's been insane, and I love it. It's great. It's wonderful.
Did you
Yeah,
see the fake Erica Enders that wanted to comment this morning?
Yes, Miss Enders got blocked.
Yeah. Will the real Erica Enders please stand up?
Please stand up. Please stand up. Please stand up.
I clicked on the profile and it had like 2 followers and no friends. I'm like, oh yeah, that's definitely Erica Enders.
Yeah, I'm on it. Oh yeah.
Sure it is.
So, but yeah, our page is blowing up. It's great. I want to say thank you to everybody that has talked about us. Hopefully it's all good. And everybody that's joined, please make yourselves known. If you have any thoughts, please share them. Usually it's me that'll handle it because he's got real jobs. And
Yeah, something like that.
so I got more time than he does
Yeah, sometimes.
most of the time.
Yeah, it's all
And
good.
want to say thank you to the like 200 and something people that said happy birthday to me yesterday. I really appreciate it. I clicked the double nickel, and it's all downhill from here.
That's it.
But again, Steve Muster and Time Bomb Gang, thank you guys for hanging out and talking about us. I appreciate it. And if you see me Friday night at Lebanon Valley, don't be shy. Come on over and say hi. I don't bite.
There you go.
Now, him, you got to be careful. We got to make sure he gets his rabies shots.
Yeah.
So cool. Well, we'll see you at Lebanon Valley the weekend after for the divisional one way or the other, Pete.
Yes, you will.
All right, everybody, have a great night. We'll be back probably realistically 2 weeks. So working
I
on
should
it.
be around.
Yep. And have a great night, everybody. And we'll talk to you all soon. Thank you for coming on and hanging out with us.
Take care, guys.
All right, Pete. Have a great night.
Be good, brother.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, y'all. Have a great night. If you are Norwalk bound, please be careful and have a safe trip. And good luck to everybody that's headed out there and competing. We'll talk to you all soon. Like I said, I will be at Lebanon Valley this coming Friday night for Night of Fire. And then I'll be there Saturday, the weekend after for the divisional race. So please make sure you say hi. We'll catch y'all soon. See you.